I've always wondered, how do people get into rhythm games? If I were to ask someone what their first rhythm game was, they would probably say piano tiles. At least that's what one of my friends said. But how did people actually start playing actual rhythm games? How do they get the motivation and interest in them? To be honest, I think last year, 2025, was the actual year I started to really get into rhythm games. But looking back in the past, I realized I actually started to play rhythm games way long back. Well, mostly casual. Excluding piano tiles, I think the first rhythm game I got into was Aikatsu. I actually don't even know that this was a rhythm game since the core memory of this game for me were the cards, not the gameplay. From what I remember, Aikatsu is basically an arcade card rhythm game where you collect outfit and accessory cards for your character to wear. You get a better score if all the cards you're wearing match in team. The cards are then used to perform on stage, where you play a 3-button rhythm game. And the gameplay is actually very simple, you just need to tap the buttons corresponding to the colors shown on the screen. The levels are meant to be for casual players, as the game only goes so far. However, to be really honest, I didn't really care about the gameplay part, as most of the time I only want to collect the cards. They're really pretty, and most of my friends also play for the cards. And I remember having a whole binder full of Aikatsu cards that I would always bring with me every time I went to the arcade. And I even joined an Aikatsu competition with my sister back then. But my rhythm game skills were still really bad, so I didn't end up winning. But my sister, on the other hand, did win twice. She got like 2 special edition cards for winning, and she gave me one of them because she felt bad I didn't win. And I don't know how my sister was so good at the game, but I guess she was just talented back in the days. Well, Ikaso is a pretty popular game for its time, but it's quite sad that it has been discontinued. Moving forward after that is a time where I start getting into Pump It Up, another arcade rhythm game, but you stomp 5 buttons with your feet corresponding to the colors on the screen. And this is a pretty hard rhythm game to play at first, as gaining muscle memory and time reaction to the charts are pretty challenging, especially with your feet. It's a game my siblings and I play casually every time we go to the arcade. And I remember starting on normal and working my way up to hard, then super hard, and higher levels and more songs. I just played very casually and I just gradually made my way up. I didn't really seek improvement and just had fun with my siblings, which is what matters the most. And our favorite charts to play were Sources Alice, but my siblings and I, we always call them Yap just because there's the name on the screen, it's so big and it makes us remember every time we see the song as Yap, it's not Sources Alice. And also Chimera, a very fun but high BPM one. And The Devil is a very challenging BPM changing song, and etc. Fast forward to I think 2018 is when I started playing K-pop rhythm games, a lot. I actually got into K-pop because of exposure to these games. The first game I played was Superstar SM Town with Rookie by Red Velvet being one of the first songs I've played, and it was considered as one of the hardest charts in the game back then. And I remember struggling so much in it that I kept failing the song. Because they have this system where if you lose all your life, you basically just fail the song. You can't continue the song. But of course, staying determined, I played and grinded so much of the game that I downloaded a bunch of other K-pop rhythm games Delcomsoft, their company, released. And these games actually take so much grind, upgrading cards for higher score, limited team cards that you need to gacha, and weekly ranking system, superstar ranking system, and etc. Plus, the diamonds are so hard to get, but surprisingly, I never spent a dime in this game, which shows how much I grinded events for the in-game currency. And did I mention I have to manage and do this for all the superstar games I downloaded? I even remember making an internal schedule for myself to manage my time grinding the apps daily. However, I left these games for 2 reasons mainly. First, these games are tied to a contract, so when they expire, the whole game is removed and rip all your progress and grind. And this happened to a lot of their games I played, but at least I've experienced the game. The second, they changed a lot of the UI and gameplay skin, which makes it harder to get perfect scores. And I personally don't really enjoy the gameplay anymore. And so after these, I think in 2023, I played another rhythm game from a different company called Rhythm Hive. And this time, I didn't really grind for cards and scores and just enjoyed playing the game itself. However, they also changed the gameplay from this to a knockoff of Project Sekai, which makes Flick Notes not really a surprise when I first started playing Project Sekai. Well, release notes were still a culture shock to me though. So I just continued playing these games, and one day I was playing this game, like the Rhythm Hive, after school in the aula. And two of my friends saw me playing the game and thought I was really good, so they recommended me to try a rhythm game called Arcaea. And they said it was a pretty popular game back in their old school and I should give it a try. And so, being the curious person I am, I tried it out and I was humbled so bad from the arcs. I literally thought the game was impossible and I kind of basically gave up after that. However, I was actually pretty competitive. So, I downloaded the game a few days after and I just started playing casually, and these are the first few pictures I had of Arcaea back in August to September 2023. Then I reached Potential 11 in March 2024 and 1140 in August 2024. But that is also because I played only from time to time and I didn't really care much about Potential. Plus, I was a free-to-play player. And other than that, I also tried some other rhythm games like Figros, Citus, and also Project Sekai, but I mainly focused and played Arcaea. And I started my university year in September, so I didn't really play Arcaea or any rhythm games anymore. It's not my focus in life. I didn't really get into it anymore. Fast forward to 2025, around February is when I started to get into Pump It Up again. I would go to the arcade almost every day to grind songs, and I even learned techniques to save stamina when playing. Well, I improved pretty well from only being able to play S13s to some S16s. However, of course, like any other rhythm game, I eventually got burned out and decided to try out the game beside the machine. It's called Trinithm. And I tried some experts and it was fun. Getting used to the air notes was pretty hard for me though, because I needed to train my muscle memory to not lift too high. And I would say I was improving pretty fast, probably because of my background with mobile rhythm games. And I thought to myself, maybe I'm just better with using my hands instead of my feet, so I should just find this game instead. And well, I ended up getting way more addicted to it than I thought I would. And every time I go to the arcade, I would just go and play the game. Like, I would buy credits and play the game. Because in my local arcade, there was this Tunitan pack where you can place 18 credits with a cheaper price, but the credits will only last from Monday to Friday, and other than that, they will expire. It only works on the same week that you buy them. So I spammed that game like crazy, especially since in that year, it was announced that there was going to be the first Trinitum competition in my country. So I just grinded a lot and even stayed until the arcade was closed at night. And that was not a good idea. I stayed up all night just to grind to get platinum 15.50 before the rating system resets. But of course, you know what happened? The arcade machines went offline coincidentally when I got my 15.50 rating. Look at this. It was, and I was so devastated. But at least I redeemed myself the next day. But can you imagine how I felt grinding so long until 12 just for the system to shut down, the machine going offline, and it didn't save your score. So yeah, after grinding from gold to platinum, I was feeling ready for the competition. Well, actually, no. I was too intimidated by people there that honestly I couldn't really focus on how I play. So I fumbled the song. Well, but it's okay, I got to watch a lot of pro people play on stage and even met new friends. And it was a fun experience to say the least, and I will do it again if I could. Cool. After the comp, I still played Trinitum a lot, mainly because of Link first. Oh, I'm so dead, I'm so dead. Oh my god, 2,000 doang. And I was able to play some 15 plus now, even if the scores are far from great, but I'm proud of how far I have come compared to the past where I struggled even playing master 13s and 12s. And reaching rainbow was also one of my goals, but it felt too far for me, so I eventually got burned out from Trinitum and only played occasionally. Then I also started playing My. Okay, but I only played like 10 credits, so honestly, it doesn't really count. I can't really put it as like a rhythm game I played a lot, like very, very little. And I also played a little bit of Paradigm Reboot after getting burnt out from Arcaea, but like My I only played for a while, so I don't really count it as something that I grinded. And well, but after all that, call me biased or what, but I think my favorite rhythm game will always be Arcaea. I don't think I've ever spent my money so willingly on a game, and it's probably the only rhythm game that I will still consistently play over the years if I don't get too busy. And also this channel is basically dedicated to Arcaea, even if I said I play other rhythm games, but mostly I just play that. I'm sorry, I don't want to be biased, but I guess that's just it. I don't know why, okay? The game's just too fun. I cannot stop. Okay, so yeah, I think that's basically it for my video, and I've been thinking of creating this for a while, and I'm glad I did. Also, please share your stories in the comments of how you got into your first rhythm game and like what's your current favorite rhythm game, because I'm curious and I don't really know a lot of rhythm games since I just started getting really into it like last year. Let me just rephrase that. I mean, because the only rhythm game I played seriously is Arcaea, and I don't really play other rhythm games, so you feel free to comment anything. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.